What if I told you that reality changes just because you look at it? Sounds like science fiction, right? But this is actually one of the strangest truths in quantum physics. It's called the observer effect, and it shows us something wild. The act of observing can literally change the way particles behave. To understand the observer effect, we've got to go back to one of the most famous experiments in science, the double-slit experiment. Imagine you're firing tiny particles like electrons or photons at a wall that has two narrow slits. If no one's watching, those particles don't just go through one slit or the other. They behave like waves. They overlap, interfere, and create this beautiful ripple pattern on the back wall, like waves colliding in water. But here's the twist. The moment scientists set up a detector to observe which slit the particles pass through, the interference pattern disappears. Suddenly, the particles act like tiny marbles, going through one slit or the other, no longer like waves. In other words, when unobserved, they exist in many possibilities. When observed, they collapse into one definite reality. What physics says. This is where quantum mechanics shakes up everything we thought we knew. Physicists call this wave function collapse. Before measurement, a particle is in a superposition, meaning it's potentially in all states at once. Observation forces it to choose. Think of it like flipping a coin, but the coin doesn't land until someone looks at it. Until then, it's both heads and tails at the same time. Observation makes reality commit to an outcome. Here's where it gets deep. What exactly counts as observation? Some interpretations say it's just the measuring equipment, but others argue it's tied to human consciousness. And that's the big question. Is our awareness actually participating in creating reality? Because if particles shift based on being observed, then consciousness isn't just a bystander in the universe, it's a co-creator. Some physicists stay cautious here, but philosophers, mystics, and spiritual teachers have been saying this for thousands of years, that awareness itself changes the world. So what does this mean for your life? It means your focus matters. Where you place your awareness might not just change your experience of reality, it could be shaping reality itself. Think about relationships. If you only notice what's wrong in your partner, that's the reality that grows stronger. If you focus on gratitude, love, and connection, then that reality takes form. The observer effect is a reminder. Attention is power. Consciousness isn't passive, it's active, it's creative, it's literally bending reality in your direction. So next time you hear about quantum physics, don't just think about tiny particles in labs, think about your own awareness. Because the observer effect shows us, reality responds to observation. And if that's true, then the way you see the world might just be the most powerful tool you'll ever have. If you want more mind-bending breakdowns on consciousness, reality, and how it all ties into your life, subscribe, share this with someone curious, and stay tuned for the next episode.